Hello, hello, hello there. Welcome to Readings by Marvelous Madame. This is going to be your astrology snippet for April 2019. There was a lot that took place this month. This is the month of action. For those of you who have been patiently waiting on me, thank you so much. I am feeling much better now. I was a little under the weather, but let's get started. So, that being said, I'm changing the snip up this month. There was a lot that went on. This is the month of action, as I stated. With that being said, we're only going to focus on the retro. By now, Mercury is direct. Been there, done that, okay? Mercury is direct. So we're only going to be focusing on 3 retros that's taking place. The first one is Jupiter. The second one is Pluto. And the third one is going to be Saturn. And not any specific order, but we are starting with Jupiter. Right now, we are full-blown in Jupiter being in retrograde. Jupiter actually is retrograde in the planet of Sagittarius. It moved into Sagittarius, that's fire, November 8th, okay? And it's supposed to stay there from November 8th of 2018 all the way through December 2nd of 2019. If you're going to see my eyes doing this, that's because my research is over there, okay? Now, it's going to affect each one of you guys differently. So I'm going to have these videos linked down in the description. If you care to watch them, you can. When I get started on your regular videos, I will reference this. If you want to know how it's going to be affecting you, then, you know, keep watching. So it entered shadow period of this retrograde in January 13th. It's pretty much been shadow this entire time. It's not going to move out of shadow until November 7th. So the shadow period that starts the beginning of the retro was then, and the full-blown retrograde started on April the 11th, and it's going to stay that way until August the 12th, 2019. Jupiter is going to remain in the sign of Sagittarius, which it rules. It is the ruler. So I'll get into that in a second. It's going to come out of shadow on November the 7th, okay? It's only going to remain retrograde from April 11th through August the 12th. And then once it comes out of shadow, it's going to go direct. You know, it goes into these periods. If you want to know what that means, go ahead and Google it I'm not going to break that down. I will say, though, that it's going to remain, again, in Sagittarius, which is the planet that it rules for this entire period. And so we're only going to be focusing on the retrograde period and how it affects you. And the retrograde period, as I stated, we're full-blown in it right now from April the 11th until August the 12th of this year. So this is an outer planet. This particular planet, they also call is like the wise professor. You are here astrologers, your favorite astrologer, or if you don't have a favorite astrologer and you listen to me, you'll hear me say things like the planet of gift and luck. I stole the planet of gifts and luck. I took that, borrowed it from my favorite astrologer, who I do my research from. It's a combination of people to bring you things because maybe it'll be a little bit easier for you to break it down. If it's for me to break it down, maybe it'll be a little easier for you to understand. Let's get started. Supposedly, it's gifts and luck and how we cultivate those two things, okay? When it is not in retrograde, it encourages us to pursue passions with energy. Again, it is the ruler of Sagittarius, so you can already know that's fire energy, very action-oriented, going on adventures. Unfortunately, when it's in retrograde, just like anything that's in retrograde, it causes us to kind of step back. And anything that is in the arena of what this particular planet will otherwise have you do, or things that you have put on the back burner, this is the time for you to kind of take a step back and reevaluate how, when this planet goes direct, you might want to revisit those things. So we're already 440 into it. Let's go ahead. We're going to go in order. Again, retrogrades are generally associated with the past and when viewed in a flattering light, it basically means that this is an opportunity for you to retreat, review, reanalyze old habits and actions and things of this nature. So it's going to cause you to take a step back and just take a look at what's going on. So let's get started. Aries. Jupiter in Sagittarius in the retro period is going to be surrounding your exploration and travel, okay? You're going to be forced to consider areas of faith, religion, learning, new philosophies, or overall your spiritual growth. So while you are in this retrograde period, please examine those types of areas in your life, okay? Expand your horizons around faith, religion, learning, philosophy, spiritual growth, adventure, things of that nature, okay? Taurus. Jupiter in Sagittarius for you in retro is really going to hit you in a place where it's calling for you to examine money. How you make money, how you share money. Interestingly enough, some of you Taurians have really been having a hard time with money. I've been going back and forth with you guys for months. And even in your energy, it's been about money and how you're focused on money. So you're not focused on anything else. As we know, that Taurian energy is a fixed energy. You're being called to examine money. How you make it, passive income, money given to you, or an inheritance. Property issues, anything that you share, anything that you may be investing, or anything that you may be splitting. Some of you guys are getting a divorce. Some of you guys are being called to invest. It's going to hit you in that area. So pay attention. And so when Jupiter goes direct, then all of these things that you have been reevaluating that is surrounding those areas, you're going to be forced to take a look at and move forward, okay, in those areas. Gemini. Oh, my. Jupiter in Sagittarius for you is going to, in retro, is going to force you to pay attention to one-on-one dealings with people. And I'm talking about you're going to be forced to drill down what you expect from unions that you have with people, whether that be love or business or just important interactions. Take this time to reevaluate, reexamine habits, patterns as it pertains to partnerships, business, or the love variety, okay? So you are going to have to figure out the existing partnerships that you have, how they've been affecting you. I'm sorry, that's why I have to do that when my crown is on. Okay? The existing partnerships that you have and how you're going to start looking at them going forward. Drill down what you expect from these partnerships, okay? Cancer. Jupiter in Sagittarius in retro is going to highlight your well-being, period. As I am a Cancer sun, so this is only pertaining to these signs in the sun sign, okay, in your sun, not the rest of them. So only each one of these zodiac signs, the sun sign only. And I've already experienced retrograde in Jupiter because I got sick. I started this month off sick, so that's not good. And I mean, I was sick for a long time. That's the reason why you guys are getting your videos a little late. So if you are a Cancer and you are watching this, holla if you hear me, because I tell you what, it's putting a halt on our progress as it pertains to eating healthy. It is affecting me majorly because I am craving for carbs and things that I would never crave for. So if you are a Cancer out there and you are wondering, why do I keep craving this? I don't even like it. Or why do I keep craving salt? Or why am I eating these French fries like this? Don't worry. That's because Jupiter is in retrograde right now in the house, in that area of your chart that's bringing attention to your well-being and your health and your daily rituals. So be careful with that. It is going to take an extreme amount of willpower to get out of this. And I typically don't have any issues with that. So if you are a Cancer, holla if you hear me. Let's move on. Leo, this is fun. Jupiter in Sagittarius in retro is going to force you to start paying attention to playful notions, creativity, romance. sex, passion. I believe it hits you in your 8th house. Right now, though, you're not feeling as lucky. So when Jupiter is in Sagittarius, and it affects you in that house. So with it being in retro, you might feel like your sex game is off. You may feel like your love relationships are taking the back seat. You may feel like your creativity is in the toilet. Take this time to focus on those areas. And take this time to reevaluate, re-examine, and rethink all of those issues that you're having in those areas. And by the time, again, as I've stated, that this planet goes direct again, then you will start to see everything kind of, easing up, and it will be on a straight and narrow for you. Right now, you could be feeling like you're still operating in Mercury retrograde. And so Jupiter, which normally gives you things, is going to go to sleep. So it hits you in that house. Be careful. Don't do anything major. Just take it one day at a time, because it hits you in the house. And some of you women, you Leo women, you're going to be having babies. If you are a Leo and you're watching this video and it's hitting you in that house of children and you're trying to conceive, understand that when this planet goes direct in August, you should not have a problem. The juices are going to start to flow and you should be fine. So keep that in mind. All right, Virgo. Jupiter in Sagittarius for you in retro is going to affect you in your home life. You are going to be focusing on putting down roots so they can grow. Right now, though, you're all over the place. You're trying to figure this out. You're trying to figure that out. You want to move. You're hella emotional right now. You got relationship issues. You got some issues with your mother. Some of you guys might feel a little stuck. Virgo is hitting you in that house, in that area of your chart where you may need to add some household members or remove some household members. People may need a place to stay. People may be coming and going, and you feel like your house has a revolving door on it. Keep in mind that this is what's going on right now. You have been bestowed the gifts and luck from that planet. And it's hitting you in the house where now you have to reevaluate how nice you've been. And you have to start doing what's best for you and your family instead of trying to help all of these extra family members. Some issues may come up with your mom. So if you are a Virgo out there and you feel like you constantly get these people calling you on the phone like, can I move in? I need a place to stay and blah, blah, blah. It's time for you to reevaluate those relationships and figure out, why do I keep allowing, why do I feel responsible for another grown-up doing X, Y, and Z? It's going to hit you in that area, so please stay the course. Now, remember, when it goes direct, things will start to lift up. Things will start to feel better. And a lot of you want to move. A lot of you want to move. If you are a Virgo and you're watching this video and you really feel like you want to move, understand that by the time this planet goes direct, you should start to feel like you have it together. If your lease is up or is going to come up in this time, just go month to month and really take your time and find a place to stay. Okay? All right, Libra. Libra. Jupiter in Sag retro is going to help you connect. It's going to help you connect with your social networks. It's going to help you focus on how you're communicating. You feel frustrated right now. You feel like there is something hitting you in your friendship sector. There's something that's hitting you in the friendship sector. Maybe you and your friends haven't spoken as much. Maybe you and your friends aren't seeing eye to eye. Maybe you're calling, they're not answering. Maybe they're texting. There is some disconnects, but not to worry. Right now, your social networks sibs too, your siblings. Are you going back and forth with your siblings? Maybe it has something to do with school. All of that will begin to lessen as you really buckle down and figure out who needs to stay in your life, who is worth it to communicate with on a friends level, social networks concern. As far as your sibs, it's going to force you to open up communication with your siblings, or right now, the communication is off because there is arguing, there is bickering, there is people feeling some kind of way because people aren't returning calls. Understand that this will change, but right now you're being forced to take a step back and reevaluate the social networks, relationships with siblings, and contacts. Okay, you may be feeling frustrated right now. You may be trying to get in contact with somebody. You feel like they treating you a certain type of way. They're not. It's just that this outer planet in retro is causing a bit of an upset there, but it shouldn't affect you too much. Now, Jupiter, guys, is a outer planet, so it doesn't affect us as much as a inner planet like Mercury would. But keep in mind, if you notice these little things, it'll be an annoyance, but it won't be like this huge tower. Okay. Scorpio, you're going to notice that if you watch the next two videos for Pluto and if you watch the video on Saturn, everything that's going on with you this year is all about self-confidence. It's all about money. It's all about things in order to get you better. Like, even if you guys go, and I'm going to drop the links to the videos of the Divine Energy Oracle on IGTV and the Love Yourself affirmation. Your energy, Scorpio, has been very much so about action. This is the month of action. And right now, this goes hand in hand with your personal income. The confidence that you have of being able to go out and make some money. Right now, you're not feeling like your self-worth is, you're not feeling very confident. Money matters. You just got issues with money. I don't know whether that makes sense. You worried about money. You want to know how you're going to earn. Maybe you're looking for a job. Maybe you got fired from a job. Maybe they cut your hours. This has something to do with self-worth and personal contributions. And right now, you're being called to kind of step back no matter how stressful the situation is. You're being called to take a step back and just reevaluate how you want to show up in these areas. And I don't think a lot of you guys are operating 100% of capacity because of the fact that it's stressful, because of the pressure that's being put upon you. This is the time for you to take this is the time for you to reevaluate how you want to show up. And you need to do the work. So I really, really am sending a special shout out and sending peace and love and blessings to all of you guys, but a special shout out to Scorp, because you Scorps are really getting it 9 ways from Tuesday. Just made that up. So, but you're feeling it. So if you watch this video and you need to, reach out to me, please do so, because these 3 retrogrades plus the energy that's going on in your love life right now has you just feeling completely zapped. Okay? So it's going to affect, you're one of the signs it's going to affect the most, Scorp. So just be careful with that. Again, if it resonates and you want something personal, hit me up. You know how to do it. If you're watching this video, you should know how to do that, okay? Let's move on. Sagittarius. Now, Jupiter in Sagittarius, this is your ruler. So this is expansion, personal growth, growing, going on an adventure. You are blessed beyond compare, because this is your ruler. Jupiter, the planet of gifts and lucks, the planet of expansion, is your ruler. However, right now, all of that's on a halt because the planet is going to sleep. Now, all of those areas, adventures, personal growth and expansion, halt. Is on hold. And it's on hold because, like always, as I explain what retrogrades do, review, reanalyze, it's time for you to sit back and figure out what does expansion mean to you? What does expansion look like? What does growth look like? You feel stuck in the mud right now. Absolutely. And this is another, like I just told Scorpio, it's going to hit you hard because this is your ruler. Now, it affects every zodiac sign differently, and it may not affect no 2 zodiac signs the same way, but it's definitely going to affect you because it's your ruler. Although it is an outer planet, it's your ruler. So keep that in mind. What does personal expansion and personal growth look like to you? Reevaluate that. So when this planet goes direct, you will continue to get your blessings. You're going to feel like you got a fairy godmother on your side. You're going to be amped and ready to go. Keep that in mind, okay? All right. Capricorn. Capricorn, you are gearing up for an excellent 2020. Now, this is 2019. 2020 is going to be a wealth of luck for you. Now, keep in mind, the North Node of Destiny is in Cancer, Capricorn right now. So you should be experiencing some things that were already stagnant. Not to mention, your ruler, Saturn, which we're going to get to in another video, is going retro as well. But it went direct. So all of the things, because it went retro for a long time. I mean, it was completely retro and it hit you. And so you were already dealing with that. And then when it went direct, you started to feel some relief in some areas. And boom, now Jupiter is in the sign of Sagittarius, which is good for everybody when it's in this ruler because it's at home. However, right now, what you're being guided to do is dig deep and release old patterns. Period. When Jupiter went into Sagittarius in November of 2018, it started to deliver gifts to all of us in little areas at that time, with an opportunity for all of us to expand our horizons. And when I say all of us, I mean all 12 zodies. However, you are having a hard time releasing things that no longer serve you. In order for you to have your best year ever, which is 2020, you need to go through this year, because I'm not even done with Saturn and Pluto. Okay? This is just Jupiter. But you, of all of the zodiac signs, need to let go of habits, patterns, ideas that no longer serve you. If you got something special in the pipeline that you've been percolating and brewing on, it's coming, Cap. Just let it go. All of the things that is in the way of you looking and realizing that special thing that's in the pipeline, just let it go and it will come. Remember, yours may be, like I said, it affects all of us differently, but yours may be a little bit harder because it calls for you to dig deep. In order for you to have the best year ever next year, you have got to do the work now, okay? I hope that resonates, but that's where it's hitting you, okay? All right, Aquarius. Aquarius, you have been having an issue with taking charge. Jupiter and Sag is going to boost you up and give you the confidence that you need. But when it's in retrograde, you don't know what that looks like. So when it went into Sag, it started helping you. So I can imagine that from last year up until a couple days ago, when it was direct, you probably were having some problems at work. You probably wanted to step up a little bit more, take charge in certain situations. Now it's retro again. You accomplished little things. You won little battles. But now it's retro. So now you need to start thinking about how you're going to continue to do that going forward. You want to be the leader at work. You want to have a nice relationship with a group of friends. You are embarking upon new friendships. You are embarking upon taking the lead role in a corporate environment or in your job. And this is the time to do it. Take a step back. Reevaluate, rethink, reexamine how you want that to look. So when this planet goes back, you have a bit of a break. When this planet goes direct, you're going to be good to go. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Last but not least, Last but not least, Pisces. Pisces, you have been attempting to get public recognition for something. There's something that you do in the community. There's something that you give back. You either do some type of coaching, you do some type of community organization for a good cause, whatever it is. Pisces, you are going to start to see your recognition and reputation blossom. That's what happened when Jupiter went into Sag in November. You had started to see little things in the community. Maybe you run your own business and you started branching your business out to do things in the community. You want the recognition for that. And by all means, you deserve it. However, I think in order to continue to raise your profile, and this is also going to boost your personal life too, and it's giving you a vote of confidence and a boost of confidence that you need to manifest all of the other things. You want to be known in your community for being accomplished. You want people to look at you and say, I have accomplished this. If the business thing doesn't resonate, this is just in your house of reputation or your career or your direction in life. So whatever it is, you want the recognition. And the good news is that you're going to get it, okay? So keep in mind that you got those little pushes and those little nudges from Jupiter when it went direct and moved into Sagittarius, as I stated, which helped us all. But now that it's going to sleep, you have to start thinking about, how can I improve my career path? How can I, be known for the accomplishments as it pertains to the direction of life that I'm going in? I think if you want that, you need to really buckle down and drill down to figure out what that looks like. So when this planet wakes up, you'll be on and popping. And I hope that resonated. So, guys, this has been your April 2019 Astro Snip. I call it the astrology snip because it's just a snippet of what's going on. What I felt was the most important thing, not that I can't say everything to you. The most important thing that you could be experiencing in the month of April. I am going to have separate videos because otherwise it would have been a 3-hour long video. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this short. I certainly hope that resonated. Now you know how Jupiter in retrograde will affect every one of your signs. I'm going to go ahead and move on. You will see them posted in the uploads tonight. And if you want to watch, go ahead. They will be open for your view. They will be linked at the bottom of the regular videos as an unlisted video. You want to watch it, click on it, and I'm out of here. Certainly hope it resonated. Thank you guys all for being patient with me. I'm sorry it took so long, but Spirit told me that it was time for me to sit down. Okay? So I certainly hope it resonated. I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.